Thanks for joining today. This is a short video on the concept of giving choices within the larger framework of positive discipline. We offer lots of positive discipline groups, but if you're anything like me, I often forget some of the little techniques and tips when I'm in the moment and I'm emotional or my child's not behaving. So what we like to do is offer some shorter videos and some shorter groups on smaller concepts within a larger concept. So today's is on giving choices. For those of you not familiar with positive discipline, I like to distinguish it between punishment. So positive discipline is another term for teaching guidance through understanding and encouragement. It doesn't require misbehavior to implement. That's the great thing about discipline is that we can use it. It's teachable all the time. Your child doesn't have to do anything wrong or misbehave in order for us to implement it as parents. It's fitting, especially for 0 to 3, but it's really fitting for all ages because it acknowledges that children still need to learn. Yeah, and even though their intention is not about misbehaving, kids are not trying to be bad, but we still need to help them learn. It's about deciding what you will do as a parent and following through rather than expecting your child to know what to do. And it builds relationship of love and respect between parent and child. It promotes self-esteem and confidence through collaborative problem solving. You're working together to figure it out. Punishment is sort of based on that old school idea that children need to suffer for misbehaviors in order to not repeat them. It doesn't teach very much. You know, if your child spills a glass of milk, perhaps the consequence is that they need to help clean the milk. Punishment would be making them feel bad for doing something wrong. Well, for one, spilling milk is usually an accident, usually. And so if it is an accident, we still need them to learn, even though they haven't done anything wrong. Or if the perception is that they have done something wrong, maybe they spill milk on your favorite carpet and you're like, ah, that's gonna smell. You know, and then if you start to get mad and say, go to your room, going to their room doesn't actually teach anything other than that they need to suffer as a result of having made a mistake. So that can stunt emotional and social development because it uses blaming, shaming, and pain as a way to try to get your child to improve their behavior. And it creates what's called the 4 R's: resentment, rebellion, revenge, and retreating through sneakiness, which is I won't get caught the next time, or retreating through low self-esteem, I'm a bad person. So this is a really, really quick summary of positive discipline versus punishment, but it does help sort of solidify the concept. And you know, if you want more information just on this topic, you can meet with your one-on-one worker, or you can join us for some of our other groups that go more into depth on this. In terms of choices, why do we give choices to young children? Well, everyone needs to feel like they have some control over their life. You know, especially young children, they don't have a lot of control. They feel very powerless. So offering choices within limits means that the child feels some sort of control over their own life. Children should be allowed to make decisions that are appropriate for their age so they can feel that they develop a sense of independence and self-efficacy. And you're going to have way less power struggles with your child if you implement choices rather than telling them what to do. No one wants to have everything dictated to them all the time. So part of the way we can sort of distract our child from the fact that, you know, if they need to put their pajamas on, but you don't say, you got to go put your pajamas on, that never comes out right. So to sort of deflect from the power struggle of them needing to put their pajamas on, which means bedtime, which usually doesn't go so smoothly for a lot of families, you can instead give the choice of which pajamas would you like to wear? Do you want to wear your Thomas the Train pajamas or your Paw Patrol pajamas? Or do you want to wear the red ones or the blue ones? And so all of a sudden now their focus is on the fact that they've been given a choice versus the fact that they do in fact have to put their pajamas on. What happens when you give a choice? Well, your child will feel that they have some control over their own life. Children learn that consequences happen because of their choice, not because of the parent's mood or because of power. Children develop more of a sense of independence, and you're going to have less power struggles. So method for implementing choice, it's really just sort of a quick 2-step process. Decide what behavior is acceptable and what behavior is not acceptable. With young children, stick to 2 simple options. And as they get older, you can increase the amount of options, but make sure you're okay with both options. For example, my daughter's 5, so I do kind of give her a few extra options. She is really into dressing herself, sometimes very wildly. And we have little cubbies in her room. You know, we've got long pants, shorts, tank tops, long sleeve shirts, sweaters. They're sort of categorized. So when she opens her closet, I don't say, okay, pick an outfit, because we'll be there for 3 hours. But I usually give her a really simple directive of, you need long pants and you need a sweater, or you need long pants and a t-shirt. And then she can choose from those categories. And then I also have the consequence in there of, you've got 5 minutes to pick your outfit before we need to head to daycare. Sometimes I'll throw on a timer. If you can't choose in that 5 minutes, then mommy's going to pick your outfit for you. Does it go smoothly? No, but more often than not, she just chooses her own outfit before I even need to implement the consequence. So the second step is to accept the child's choice and follow through. If she does what I've asked, regardless of how ridiculous her outfit looks, like sometimes she somehow manages to get into her costume bin and she's got, you know, a mermaid skirt on and Pocahontas, or what is it? No, Moana. She's got this like Moana tube top. Sometimes she throws that on and I'm like, if that falls into the category of what I said she could wear, you know, in the middle of the summer, if I said she could put on a tank top and a skirt, it's still a tank top and a skirt. So I have to eat my words and say, okay, yep, that's fine. Let's leave the house like this. So be sure to be clear with your words, for one, and secondly, be sure that you're going to follow through. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to trust you. If the child's silent or doesn't choose one of the options, then they've made a choice. Again, my poor daughter, I keep using her as an example, but we have a chair at our dining table. One of them is just a little bit more cozier and lower. And so she often sits back in the chair and puts up her feet. And we say the same thing to her every time. You can choose to sit up on your bum and sit up straight so that you can eat your meal, or we have to switch you to another chair. What would you like to do? And she always says, no, I want to stay in this chair, but she puts her feet back up. And so each time my husband and I say to her, okay, well, it looks like you've made your choice, because you're only allowed to stay in this chair if your feet stay on the ground. Or if you're sitting up straight. And so we pick her up and we move her to the other chair. Yes, she often has a meltdown about it, but at least she understands that when we're giving her a choice, we mean it and we're going to follow through. And if she doesn't choose one of the options, we will choose it for her. Some words that you can use is just, really simple sentence. So if you're, in the moment, it's hard to sometimes think of choices that you can actually follow through on or that are appropriate. So try to think about it, later in the day, and what would you do if the situation were to rise again, and then plug it into this sentence. You have a choice. You can either blank or blank. So for example, you can either play nicely inside, or we need to take the game outside. If the child continues to play inappropriately, they've chosen, by not answering you, to take the game outside. Now you say, I see you've made your choice, and then calmly and assertively lead your child outside. Another really important note is to not show anger when giving a choice, and to be sure to follow through on the choices made or the consequences given. I feel like we've talked quite a bit about this. I think the anger piece is really, saying it in a mean way doesn't encourage children to want to make that choice. So getting really angry with them deflects from the power that they feel that they're getting and the control that they feel that they're getting, and then the focus becomes the anger itself. So making sure you're saying it calmly and firmly. Just because you're calm or just because you're polite and respectful does not mean that you're not going to follow through. You're just not doing it in an angry way. Some examples. Your child does not want to eat his vegetables and keeps asking for cookies. So, for me, I might say something like, no, cookies aren't for dinner time. You have a choice. You can eat your salad or you can eat your steamed broccoli, right? Everyone needs a balanced meal. We need our vegetables. You can have your salad or you can have your broccoli. Cookies aren't an option right now. Your daughter or son doesn't want to get into their car seat. Well, you can either get into your car seat by yourself, or mommy has to force you in there. I know kids get big and then you can't force them in anymore. If it is an option and you're willing to follow through with not going wherever it is you're trying to go, I've done that a few times with my kids. If we're about to head to a park or something like that, I'll say, well, you need to get in your car seat calmly, or we're not able to go out today, or we can't go to the park. Usually the consequence of not being able to go will make them get into their car seat. Sometimes if we want to give, that one's a little bit more of a threat than a choice now that I think it through. My son loves to buckle up his own car seat. So sometimes the choice is not to get in the car seat calmly, but it's, hey, do you want mommy to buckle you up or do you want to do it yourself? Only big boys know how to do it themselves. Do you think you could do it? And he gets so excited. And he's like, oh no, mama, I can do it by myself. And he gets his little top buckle and he does it himself while I'm finishing up on the bottom buckle. And it usually means that the power struggle's gone because he just gets so excited to show me what a big boy he is. Another example is that your child doesn't want to turn off the TV and go to bed. With my kids, one of the choices I like to offer with that one is I'll say, do you want to turn off the TV by yourself or does mommy need to turn it off for you? They love pressing the buttons on the remote and usually they're pretty eager to do it themselves. It's also just the control. I know sometimes instead of using the bigger TV, I have an iPad and sometimes I'll let my daughter watch a show on the iPad. I'm not fond of iPads, but it is what it is. And I notice that she gets scared. She'll have sort of a meltdown when I try to take it away. And it's not that the show's done, is she's scared that I won't pause it properly so that it won't pick up where it left off the next time. I guess one time I forgot. And so it's really important to her. So I'll say, okay, it's time to get off your iPad now, or hey, it's time for the shows to be done. Do you want mommy to pause the show and turn it off, or would you like to do it yourself? And usually she becomes solely focused on wanting to do it herself, that she's less focused on the fact that she's not allowed to watch shows anymore. That's really it. That's sort of a really basic, quick, simple concept. If you have any more questions about positive discipline, about punishment, about using choices, or really just about anything else, you can give us an email at admin@camray.ca, which is our general email, or you can use our program email at the Early Years Parent Support Program, which is pspgroupsignup@camray.ca. You can check out our website at www.camray.ca for more information about our agency and programs, or you can give our admin desk a call at 604-436-9449. Thanks again for joining me today.